Hello, beautiful people of the internet. My name is Ryan. Welcome to a channel update. What's new with me? What's new with the channel? What's going on? What's next? Welcome. In these videos, I usually take about 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes to talk about sort of what's going on with the channel right now, what might be happening in the future, and sometimes I talk about my life because, it's fun to, this is like my journal, honestly. I love looking back at these old updates over the months and years and being like, wow, in January of 2021, this is how I was feeling, and this is what the room looked like, and this is, how it all was going. So, welcome. That's what we're gonna do today. First things first, let's talk about the video games, the series that are happening on the channel right now, and then we'll get to the question that might be on everyone's mind, which is, what's next, Ryan? Every time we end a game, like we've recently done with Breath of the Wild, sorry, the Breath of the Wild, obviously it's the question on everyone's mind. Everybody's pulling for their own individual game, or they're excited to see what's next. What is next? I'll talk about that and how the answer is a little bit different than maybe what you would expect here in just a second. So first things first, what's going on the channel? Breath of the Wild, the Breath of the Wild has just finished after 155 episodes or 54 episodes. We finished the main game and a lot of side quests along the way, and we found way too many yahahas and did a lot of shrines, and that game is finished as a YouTube series, but it's also still going to be coming out for quite a while. For those of you who don't know, basically how this happens, I recorded 155 episodes, like me sitting at my computer recording to keep the playthrough as blind as possible. And then as soon as the game was done, we moved it over to Twitch, and I started streaming with many of you lovely people stopping by to suggest quests and finally get to front seat me a little bit and tell me the information you wished that I'd known 135 episodes ago. So it's now a Twitch series, which means, of course, that those Twitch streams get turned into YouTube videos and they keep coming out. So I think that Breath of the Wild series or playlist could go on to be like 200 episodes long, maybe more. I don't know. I certainly have no shortage of things to do in that game, and I'm still really enjoying that game. And streaming it has been a lot of fun with so many people dropping by and so much passion for that incredible game. So yeah, it's done, but you can expect to see Breath of the Wild coming out for quite. I have some big plans for things yet to do in that game. So and I'll just tell you right now, what's next? The answer is not Tears of the Kingdom. The answer is not Tears of the Kingdom. The answer is not another Zelda game. We're going to do something different before we do either of those things, which may happen in the future. Yeah. So what else is going on in the channel? Speaking of Breath of the Wild and things that Breath and Zelda fans might enjoy, that was a A+ transition right there. We're playing a little game called Tunic that I think it is my sleeper pick for my personal game of the year, maybe? I don't know yet. We'll have to see how it ends and what all happens before we get there. Tunic, I'm going to use some other games as comparisons because I think if you love those games, you might really love Tunic. Outer Wilds, Hollow Knight, those sort of games where you have to like you go in knowing as little as possible and you learn something that sort of irrevocably changes the way you play the game or experience the work of art you're sitting in front of. Because let's be really honest, it is a freaking work of art, Tunic. It's gorgeous. It's super, like fun and like satisfying to actually press buttons and do things. But it's also like it's telling a artistic story. That's all I'll say about that. Tunic is, yeah, I hesitate to say anything about it because it's like Outer Wilds, which I also hesitate to say anything about. If any of that sounds like it's up your alley, my strong recommendation is play Tunic yourself. Go buy it, play it. If you can afford it at all, play it. You're not going to regret it, I don't think. If you can't do that, or if you've already done that, feel free to watch our playthrough. You'll notice my thumbnails for Tunic are pretty boring. My titles are pretty boring. I'm doing everything. The game is really recent, actually. I think it came out last year. I'm doing everything I can not to spoil any of it in the thumbnails or the titles, as opposed to a game like Breath of the Wild, which came out 5 years ago, which I still sometimes try not to spoil certain things, but like I use screenshots for that so that you can actually see what's going on. But in Tunic, my lips are zipped, other than a strong recommendation to go play it. Yeah, so Tunic's going on. I think it'll be done probably in the next couple of weeks. I don't imagine it'll go longer than that. I don't think it's a huge game, but we're 20-something episodes in right now. So 20-something hours in right now. That is also a Twitch game that we're moving to YouTube. It's been a lot of fun to share that with our Twitch community. So check out Tunic if that's at all interesting to you. Other than that, we have occasional Valheim videos coming out. Megan and I are playing Valheim co-op. Megan's schedule, as always, since she is the person who wears the pants in this family and I'm just the trophy husband, her work schedule means that we don't get to play a ton of Valheim right now. And the fall is kind of busy anyways with like family stuff, and we got some life updates for you, trust me. That'll be later in this video. I'm staying busy, and so is Meg. So unfortunately, we're not playing Valheim as much as we would like, but we're both having a lot of fun with it. And Meg can now play the game on a higher quality. More about that later. So yeah, that should keep coming out as long as we can keep making time to stream it or record it. It's been fun so far. So that's Valheim. You can keep an eye out for that. The other thing that is the other series that is going on the channel right now is actually the answer to what's next. So this is a thing I've never done before, but it's what I'm doing for this specific series. And generally at one point in time, we have one like YouTube only game that's happening on this channel. It's what I devote my non-streaming, non-everything else time to working on, recording. Recently that was Breath of the Wild, but it's many of the other games that you may love from this channel. I love getting to devote some specific time to just one game. However, and sometimes those games start as YouTube only, like me, computer, that's it, I'm recording it. And then occasionally they will move to Twitch, like we just did with Breath of the Wild, like after the game is done or at some point in its time, we'll move it over to Twitch. I've never done the opposite, where I moved it from Twitch to YouTube, but that's what we're doing right now. What's next is that I'm going to take Baldur's Gate, which I originally streamed, Baldur's Gate 3. I streamed like 10 hours of it, which was awesome. I loved it so much, and I'm so obsessed with this game right now. I'm moving it to be our YouTube-only playthrough. So I'm no longer streaming it because it was really, honestly, kind of hard to find the time to play it as much as I wanted, along with Tunic and these other games I got going on, and I wanted to devote 100% of my energy to the game. So Baldur's Gate 3 is our next YouTube game. I've already recorded some. Here's what you can expect from Baldur's Gate 3 if you don't know anything about it. It's unlike anything I've ever played before. I have not played Baldur's Gate 1 or 2, Divinity Original Sin, any games like that. There's like a lot going on with mechanics that I don't exactly understand yet. But the basics are this. Baldur's Gate 3, a gorgeous looking game, incredible, probably the major strength of the game. Characters and dialogue writing and like choice writing and the way that your choice plays into the individual narrative. And all of that is laid on top of a D&D world with D&D rule sets. If you don't know, I'm huge into D&D as of the last like 3-4 years. Play D&D regularly, and I'm like in the prime of my D&D love right now. And so the fact that all of that is compiled into one package, it's good. The game has gotten incredible reviews, and I understand why. So Baldur's Gate 3, that's what you, if you are interested at all, I would highly recommend watching the series because I'm going to be playing it for probably quite a while. It's a little bit of a longer game. So here's the, like, what's a little different about this game than other things. I've never played like this style of game before, where I'm like managing a bunch of people running around a world. Like I'm managing a whole party rather than just one character. It's sort of like Skyrim, but it's also entirely different than Skyrim. So I'm like learning to record a different type of game and like where I can add commentary and value and stuff. There's that. There's also the fact that it started on Twitch, now it's on YouTube. It's also a recent game. Like I have a brand, right? Like My brand is basically I don't play anything more recent than 5 years old. And I'm breaking that rule with Tunic and Baldur's Gate 3 right now. And of course, I break that rule at other times. But it's like brand new. I never play games at launch. I basically don't do that. Partially because I think it's like kind of hard to market yourself as a relatively small streamer or YouTuber in a big sea of people who are all vying for the same pieces of attention. But here's why I don't care about any of that and why I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3 anyways. I fucking love the game. It's incredible, and I want to have played it no matter what, whether or not I'm doing it for work or doing it for fun. Spoiler, all of my work is fun. And two, this is the type of game that, like, in the long run, I will want this to have been a playthrough on our channel anyways. As a channel who, like, you know, the way I think of things is, like, I care about writing. I care about really excellent, like, RPGs as well. And sort of, like, interesting and, like, just well-made art as video games as art. This is 100% going to be on that list. And if I played it now or in 5 years, I'd be playing it. So why not play it now when I'm at the height of my D&D love? Anyways, that's Baldur's Gate 3 and the answer to the question, like, what's next? Let me look at my phone because I have a couple notes and I just want to make sure I got to everything. Yeah, it's also, this is a chance for me to experiment a little bit because I don't play games like this all that often. I like to change things up a little bit and, like, see what I can learn from doing something a little different. So that's going to be Baldur's Gate 3. It'll probably be, you know, my focus on the channel for a month or two, probably. It doesn't mean there won't be other things coming out, and that doesn't mean it'll be the only YouTube thing because I have potential plans, but I won't say anything more about that until it's actually happened. So that is the channel update. What's going on, what you can expect right now. We're sitting just shy of 20,000 subscribers, which is insane to me. As of the direct filming of this video right this second, we have 19,491 subscribers. That's crazy. We're about to hit 20K. Oh, it's strange and insane to me. Twitch streams are going really well. I'm having so much fun over there. And then in life, like, what's going on with Megan and I's life? I haven't really done what's new with us all that recently. If you hang out over on Twitch, you probably know a lot of this. And frankly, if you watch any of our videos, you know some of it because I talk about, you know, my life when I'm recording video games. But I'll just give you a quick rundown of, you know, if you're not interested, that's cool. You can click off at any point in time. But what's new in Megan and I's life? We have been, I figure I should mention D&D because it's been a lot of fun. One of Megan and I's major hobbies right now is both watching Dimension 20 or other, mostly it's Dimension 20, D&D related content. And as of like over a year ago now, we've been in a regular D&D game that meets about once every 2 weeks, probably on average. We have one campaign that's like, you know, we're like level 8. It's awesome. We'll probably continue that soon. We're also doing some one-shots and stuff. We have a good group of people. It's just a good source of joy for Megan and I. We both love it. We both love role-playing, but also, you know, combat. It's fun. We recently built Megan a brand new PC, partially so that she can play Valheim and not have her computer crash. Megan has been using my hand-me-down PC that I bought from a 16-year-old who was trying to buy his first car and didn't want to play Fortnite anymore. And I bought it for very cheap because it was not a great PC. Megan's been using that for a couple years now, and it crashed constantly. It's very outdated. It basically could run a couple of the games that she liked, but none of them, she could only have a couple installed at the same time. Rather than like upgrade that PC piece by piece, which was going to be a nightmare, I said, you know what? Fuck it. Megan deserves better, and I built her a PC, and that PC is better. In fact, it's better than my PC, and I have no regrets. In certain ways, she has a better graphics card, etc. That's just how the PC market goes. You know, for less money, she has a better PC than me, so she really enjoyed it. We built it live on stream, which was also fun. We kept it a secret from her, and then I surprised her, and now she can play Valheim on ultra quality, and she loves it. So as well as The Sims or 7 Days to Die. I can't believe she still wants to play 7 Days to Die. I love that woman so much, and I don't understand her love for that zombie punching game. Other than that, I am coaching cross country. I coach I assistant coach a middle school cross country team that's local to us. I won't say a ton about it because I talk way too much about it over on stream, and also, you know, don't want to dox any weird details or anything. But I have had a lot of fun. We're probably 2/3 of the way through the season right now. The season's pretty short, but I've had a lot of fun coaching like 20 to 30 kids as they learn a sport that I have spent 18 years inside of. Yeah, it's fun to see them work hard. It's fun to see them grow and learn new things. It's also annoying because they're middle schoolers and they think that the funniest jokes in the world are jokes that involve the numbers 420 and 69. And I have to be like, that's what's funny about that, etc. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We'll see if I do it again in the future. I don't know. But for this year, at least, it's been really fun, and maybe I will do it in the future. I probably shouldn't have ended on this note because I just realized I'm ending it on a major bummer. I had planned. My last little note here is I know what I'll end it on. I'll end it on something else. My last little note here is that I had big plans this fall to run my first ever 100-mile race. Those fell through because I got a little injured. So yeah, I've spent a lot of the last month not running because of injury, which tanks my mental health. Being bummed that I can't run a 100-miler, which I spent a lot of the summer and fall training for, which isn't great for my mental health. But, you know, I've come to peace with it. I've gone through 6 stages of grief with it. I don't think it's the last 100-miler I'll ever sign up for. So, yeah. That's a random list of my hobbies and updates on our lives. Megan and I are both seeing our families a lot right now too. We're spending a lot of time together. We just played our first game of pickleball together. That was fun. Our dogs are good. Yeah, that's the Indigestion household update. I hope that this video finds you well, regardless of how your summer has gone or your fall has started. Regardless of where you are. I just realized if you're in the southern hemisphere, regardless of how your spring has started. I hope that you're doing well. I hope that you're taking time for yourself. I hope you're taking care of your brain first and foremost, and then the people around you who you love. That's going to be it for me. I'll see you again on the internet, I'm sure, later today with another video. Much love. Bye-bye.